Jack, thank you for a fantastic conversation, and really good to see such differing opinions on how to build brand equity, how to build a brand, how to nurture a brand. You made a comment about the importance of having brand as a value on the balance sheet. Can you speak into that a little bit more?
Well, the very first thing is that we need to understand that the brands we create have a value. So, do we own the copyright? Has the person who has actually designed that for us given us a letter that says we assign the copyright to you? So that's step number one.
Right.
People don't understand the value of owning that copyright so that you can do things with it. If you don't have that piece of paper, they own it, you don't. Doesn't matter how much you've paid them. The other important thing to remember is that when you have a brand that you consider your asset, you need to check whether you own it as a trademark, because that's the only thing that will actually allow you to keep and protect and leverage that brand. If you own it as a trademark, you can position it into a corporate structure and license it to a trading entity. So in a protected family trust or other company as a holding entity for intellectual property, license it to your trading entity, and for every dollar that you transact in that entity, a percentage of that dollar should go back up to the holding entity, which proves on a balance sheet the royalty value of the investment and the return that you're getting from that brand.
Fantastic. Thank you. Because I think it's so easy to get caught up in all the prettiness of a brand and all of that, as you call the vapor. So tying it down to a tangible value is fantastic.
Thank you.
Jack, thank you once again for joining us tonight. It was a fantastic
It's been a pleasure.
conversation.
Thank you very much.
Nick, thanks for a fantastic conversation about brand, and I really enjoyed how you and Jack had such differing opinions about how you can build, nurture and sustain a brand. One of the conversations that we touched on was, can you build a brand for a small business? How do you build a culture, that internal story or that soul, for a business that's only got 4 or 5 people?
Treat it like a family. I mean, that's the beauty of actually having a smaller base of staff to work with. It means that you can communicate a lot more openly and a lot more freely and a lot more often as well.
Okay. Changing tack totally then, you mentioned Telstra,
Yes.
talk about going from small business to probably one of the biggest companies, and they're going through a fantastic rebranding process. What about that process is working?
I think the fact that they are no longer the big dinosaur that takes ages to do absolutely anything, whether it be servicing a client or taking a message to market, the vibrancy and freshness to their approach and the immediacy of their approach.
Like Twitter, live chat.
They're building new channels as well to close the gap between a consumer and the brand. But they're also creating a lot of material internally, which again is, we always think we need to, and I'm probably doing myself out of a job here, but we always think we need to engage specialists and big organisations, if we're a big company, to do big things, where you don't. It's again, you've got this amazing capability inside, and as long as you can match a truth behind what your brand actually stands for and come up with experiences which deliver on that, it's a recipe for success.
Authenticity.
It's so underutilized, and we still see so many brands who think by spending $100,000 on a TVC, coming up with something wacky and crazy, which people remember. People always say, "Oh, I love the ad with the polar bear in it," or "I love the ad where the woman fell over." That does nothing to build brand equity if no one remembers who the hell is actually behind the
or
ad.
if it doesn't drive the consumer.
That's it.
Awesome. Nick, I could talk for hours, but people won't want to watch for that long. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Kat.